We're approaching the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, which cost us $24 to go through. Yikes, Virginia. Yeah, so first experience being charged to go through a tunnel, and an expensive one. Here we go.
So we've come to the eastern coast of Virginia.
Yeah, this wasn't our original plan. Originally we were going to do the Georgetown Airstream Rally the beginning of March, and from there move up into the Outer Banks, which put us right on track time-wise for going up to Washington, D.C. to see the cherry blossoms bloom. Turns out the National Park campgrounds in the Outer Banks don't open until April 12th. There are private campgrounds to choose from, but they're quite pricey and didn't fit within our budget. So this is part of the reason why we never have set plans. Everything's always just kind of a rough idea, and then we roll with it as it evolves and we figure things out. You know, we don't really make reservations ahead of time. So I don't know if that helps us or hurts us, but it does kind of allow us to just roll with things. Yeah. When we realized that the Outer Banks wasn't going to be an option, there was five weeks to kill, which is a lot of time. And we kind of lollygagged around the Carolinas for a few weeks, had a really great time, found some really cool towns and met some amazing people. But we're now to a point where we still have 2.5 weeks left and just needed to find something else cool to do. So upon further research, the cherry blossoms are scheduled to peak here in about a week to a week and a half.
Not here, but in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. So our new plan is to head up the east coast of Virginia, through Delaware, and come into D.C. kind of the back way.
Kind of comes into D.C. from the east.
Right, exactly.
Instead of coming from the south like we would have coming from Florida.
Exactly. And it's giving us an opportunity to do and see some things that a lot of you have recommended to us. Many of you have asked if we're going to go to Chincoteague and Assateague Islands, and now we are.
This totally gives us the opportunity to do that. We've got plenty of time, so we don't have to rush through it. And
yeah, we've got the next, like I said, week to week and a half. So I think we're going to spend a few days in a few different places and do some exploring, and hopefully be up in DC just in time to see the beautiful cherry blossoms. Right. And then from there, we'll go south into the Outer Banks. Kind of just a good example of
embracing a detour.
So on our way up through the eastern shore of Virginia, we found a harvest host to stay at.
Yep, it is the Blue Crab Bay Company. They make all kinds of stuff. They make seasoning packets like this. They make sauces. They make like mixed nut, container nut packaging. They make Bloody Mary mix.
Right.
They make all kinds of just different types of seasonings and mixes.
Yeah, I think the one maybe that they're best known for is this Chesapeake Bay seasoning, which is a big deal up here. Yeah, so anyways, Blue Crab Bay Company, harvest host, awesome, letting us stay here 2 nights for free. We bought some nuts and some seasonings, and we're looking forward to using those.
Yep.
But today, where are we headed?
We are headed to Chincoteague Island.
Chincoteague, which everybody kept saying these words, and I'm like, what are they saying? It is Chincoteague. It's a mouthful, but I think we've got it down now.
Close enough, anyway.
right, well, we've come to Chincoteague Island and are currently at the National Wildlife Refuge, I think is what it's called, on Chincoteague Island. Important to note that Chincoteague is not a happening place in March.
It's pretty much shut down. I think there's 2 restaurants open in this whole town.
Our first 3 choices for lunch were all closed, and we ended up at a mediocre
Something
place.
not very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the big draw to Chincoteague and Assateague, for that matter, is the wild ponies on both of the islands. So they're actually 2 separate herds, and the one over here on the Chincoteague side is owned and managed by the fire department.
The volunteer fire department.
Isn't that interesting? So they hold an annual, would you call it a fundraiser event? Where they herd all the ponies up and swim them across some body of water and then auction them off to keep the herd at 150 ponies or less. So it's a big event every year. I think it's in the fall. But anyways, it's it's a really supposed to be a really cool thing to do, and this place gets really busy in the summer and fall apparently. But early spring, late winter, not such a happening place. But anyways, the ponies are right behind us.
Yep.
They're back there.
Just across this little bit of waterway here, you can kind of see them behind us.
We'll zoom in and get a closer shot for you.
But pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. This place normally has a $20 entrance fee, but there's nobody at the gate. So we got in for free. We didn't break any rules. We're not the only ones in here.
No, it wasn't even manned or opened or anything. The gates were open and we just drove in. Yeah,
nobody was here. But in season, it would cost $20 to get in, or you could get the National Park Pass, which we have, which is amazing. Definitely recommend getting that if you're gonna
buy if you travel.
Yeah.
Want to see national park.
Definitely worthwhile. It's more than paid for itself, and we will absolutely be renewing it when our year is up.
Absolutely.
So we're visiting the visitor center here at the Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge, and just learned that this refuge was founded initially back in 1943 to help preserve the declining waterfowl populations. There was a lot of hunting going on, and it was putting a real hurting on certain species of birds in this area. So the refuge was opened and the birds have been protected. It's a really cool place. Definitely worth stopping and seeing. Doesn't really take very long. There's not a ton to do here.
It's a lot of drives, and in warmer weather, it'd be a great place to ride your bike or do some hikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've got a beautiful biking / walking trail, but it's just chilly today. This winter just won't end. So TJ and I are bundled up and kind of driving from one stop to the other and just doing short little hikes to check things out, but definitely worth a day trip here.
Definitely. It looks like on the weekends they have quite a bit more things to do here. You can actually go up into the lighthouse on the weekend. They also have a bus tour that takes you out deeper into the park, a more of an off-road service type road where you can't just normally drive and things like that. So.
And you can buy a permit to off-road on the beaches. I believe it's $70. But right now sections of it are closed because one of the endangered birds, the piping plover, is currently nesting on the beach. So, but yeah, that's another cool thing you can do here if you're into off-roading.
Right. I don't know if it's worth $70 though, but you can do it for sure. We are headed out of our Harvest Host stay today, out of Virginia and into Maryland.
Yep, it was a short stay in Virginia, and there was a lot of things to see and do here on the Eastern Shore that, number one, we didn't have the time for. Number two, we're way out of season. March is too early to be here, but really pretty area of Virginia that honestly I didn't really even know existed. But yeah, headed into Maryland and up to Assateague Island. I'm planning on camping right on the island, so that should be cool and exciting. Looking forward to it.
Yep.
Well, I just got back from a walk on the beach. It's a beautiful, pristine beach. No development anywhere on it. I think this whole island is just camping and wildlife refuge. But unfortunately, look at all this garbage I found. There was this giant blue tarp, which ended up actually coming in kind of handy because I used it kind of as a bag to collect all the other garbage I found. So there's balloons with strings, just miscellaneous plastics, caps to probably a water bottle, and I don't know what that is, a lighter, just all kinds of litter. It's really sad. It's kind of depressing, you know, and we're off season. It's not busy there right now. I don't think that this stuff was left behind by people on the beach. I'm guessing that it was in the ocean and it washed onto shore. So kind of depressing that this crap ends up in our oceans. And I don't know, not to dissuade you from coming here. It's not like you look out on the beach and all you see is garbage. It's nothing like that. But it did kind of surprise me how much I did see out there. So I'm gonna go get rid of this. All right, well, we're headed back out to the beach today with the dogs for a walk. That's one thing about this place. In March, off season, while we're here, there's not a ton to do. You know, it's kind of too cold to really enjoy the beach, to really spend a lot of time out there. Well, we are headed out of Assateague Island National Seashore today. We spent 2 nights here and it has been amazing. This place is just...
It's a beautiful beach, nice trails, a cool biking path. You know, we're on a island here, so there's water on both sides.
Yeah, you've got the ocean on one side and the bay on the other. And wild ponies. I mean, come on, guys. That's just icing on the cake on top of an already incredible place to camp. I mean, we are maybe 100 feet from the dunes. And just over those dunes is the ocean.
Yep.
And there's no development on this island anywhere. It's all either state park or national seashore. So it's just stunning. It's really beautiful. We're here off season. We're here in March. When we first got here, we were like, why don't more people come in March? This place is great. And then we realized, now we're soft. We're Floridians, so...
We have thin blood from being in warm weather our whole lives.
But we are cold. It is cold. You know, the highs are in the 50s, which probably a lot of you don't think is cold, but when you add that constant wind from the ocean...
It's pretty chilly.
Also, there's no hookups here, and it's kind of expensive, $30 a night for dry camping. They have showers, but they're cold showers only. I think they're more meant for people coming off the beach and wanting to wash off the sand on a hot summer day. Really enjoyed our 2 nights here. Don't know that we needed more than that this time of year. There's not a ton to do here when it's chilly out like it is and you don't want to go out on the beach for too long of a period of time.
In the warmer seasons, the warmer weather, I can see where you'd want to stay longer and spend some time on the beach, do some swimming, and just enjoy the outdoors here. It's just a beautiful park.
Not saying there's not anything to do here. There is. It's just...
In the winter months, there's not as much. But if you want to come and beat the crowds and just enjoy the place when it's not to capacity, by all means, come in the winter or the early spring. You know, it's a beautiful place. There's no reason not to come.
Yeah, absolutely. So really enjoyed our time here. Enjoyed our time in both places, in Virginia and Maryland. We're moving on to Delaware today.
Yep, we're going to spend a night in Delaware.
And then moving on back into Maryland, but to do Washington, D.C. next week. So excited. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to give us a thumbs up.
And if you want to keep following along, make sure you subscribe.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.